biggest pile of crap that I've ever been in. It's really bad. Clearly they didn't want to build it. The car drives as if they didn't want to build it. And the lease prices are amazing. So when you evaluate it as an $80,000 car, terrible. When you evaluate it as $100 a month, nothing down, now it makes sense.
Now we're talking.
Welcome to The InEVitable, a podcast by MotorTrend.
Hi there, we're back. Welcome to The InEVitable. This is MotorTrend's podcast, our vodcast about, well, it's really about the future of the car. Where are we going? How are we going to get there? What are we driving? As always, I'm joined by Ed Lowe, and Ed's got a lot to say.
Yes.
So say it.
Yes.
Where have we been?
Where have we been? The InEVitable podcast is brought to you by, well, nobody right now. We would love to have a sponsor. So if you're interested in sponsoring our podcast, you can do one episode, you can do 3 episodes, you can do the whole season. Hit me up, edward.low, L-O-H, at hearst.com. You can also slide into our Instagram DMs or wherever you see us. Hit us up if you want to sponsor. We're actively seeking one. You'll notice I said Hearst. So yes, MotorTrend is now part of the Hearst magazine's family. That explains the long pause, the break we took. Last episode, prior to this was, I think, end of February. And we've been spending the time sort of getting acquainted to the Hearst system and getting this thing back on its feet. So there have been several changes. We're no longer working with our good friends at Podcast One. We wish them well. They were awesome.
They were the best.
They were super great.
Miss you guys.
Miss you guys, Alistair, Sean, Gabby.
Miss Gabby the
Miss
most.
Gabby.
Those two are fine.
Yes. Great production partners, but we're taking this one in-house and probably more on the road because our budget's a little smaller. For instance, now we're at Hyundai Kia Proving Grounds.
Unless we get a great sponsor.
We're at Hyundai Kia Proving Grounds up near Mojave, the Mojave Desert in California. We're actually at SUV of the Year. And we have a great triumphant return show for you today with a great guest who's been on multiple times before. The first time we had him on, we actually broke it up into 2 episodes because he had so much to talk about. Might happen again this time, we don't know. But let's get into it. With our guest, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, out of Specs, Kyle Connor. Hooray, Kyle.
Hey.
Kyle's here. All right.
All right, first question. How many Rivians do you own now?
3.
You just bought the lowest, the cheapest, the dual motor $70,000 one.
Yeah,
is that
cheapest you can get an R1S, no options.
right? No options, and
It's awesome.
you love it.
Yeah.
It's all that you need, right? I've been saying, Johnny's like, oh, you need a quad motor.
Okay, we can discuss quad versus dual all day, but you know, that dual motor can do so much that the quad can do. Not everything, but it's a huge price delta to go up to the quad.
Hey, I'm not saying it's not cheap, but yeah.
Is the best. I'm a cheap person. I like to buy cars used. I know you like to buy a lot of used cars.
Yeah.
I won't name him because I don't think he was technically off the record, but it's a person we all know really well who used to work for the company. And he said the best Rivian to buy used is, well, the best Rivians are the latest, the second generation R1T, R1S, and then R1T, and then at the very far bottom, in like 5th place out of 4, would be the first gen R1S. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's totally accurate.
Yeah, early R1Ss, not so great.
It's
early
primarily
R1Ts, awesome.
The suspension, the Pogo Wing suspension, right? Which you can't fix.
You can't fix it. It's a hardware fix.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even pogoing. It was like just weirdly stepping out.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Right?
They were awkward.
Yeah.
But so in your estimation, get a first gen R1T and be happy.
First gen R1T, I have an early one. Johnny has an early one. Ours are actually pretty similar.
Yeah.
And they're freaking,
Yeah.
totally awesome.
Yeah.
They are
Although
amazing.
I will say, I watch you, like the amount of repairs yours has gone through.
Yeah, recently it's been a little buggy.
Like
and
mine's
not so
been,
great.
I mean, I'm at, I can tell you exactly, I'm at like 38,000 miles or something like that. But like, I mean, knock on wood, the air conditioning went out at like 10,000 miles and
Okay,
that's sort of been
yeah.
it.
But aren't those, because of what they did with the Gen 2s, aren't they sort of, they're not future-proofed, right?
They're
like
not future-proof.
they're not going to be updated.
Correct. They've kind of reached, and I'm sure they'll add some features over time, but they're Gen 1 and Gen 2 are pretty close right now in the function. So because I have both, I can get out of one and into the other. Almost no difference in terms of day-to-day living. From here on, Gen 2 is going to kind of
The fork is coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're in a good spot. Like if my truck never got any real improvement. The only thing I really want is rear steer, and that's never gonna happen.
That's never coming.
And it's like it's in a good spot.
Well, I should say that they have a job opening for someone who's an expert in rear steer. I saw it.
I'm an expert in rear
LinkedIn.
steer.
There you go. You just work for it.
Not mechanically,
lot of
but
jokes.
philosophically.
You can
There's
help
a
them
lot
with
of
the tuning.
jokes there about expedition. Okay, that was not going to be my first question. My first question is because we've been off the air since late February, and they actually recorded those earlier. What's going on in the EV industry? Any big changes going on here? Like,
It's fine, guys. It's all good.
no, in all seriousness, right? Like you're one of the foremost experts on the EV industry, on the vehicles.
No.
But like all this,
He knows about charging cables.
I know.
Yeah.
but let's
I do
talk
like
about
charging cables.
the bigger picture here, which is the political climate, the business climate, the rollback of the supposed EV
Is it
mandates.
still inevitable?
Yes. Is it still inevitable? Thank you. Are EVs? How do you feel? Like what's going on here?
So lucky enough to, at least since the last time I saw you guys, traveled between China, Europe, and here quite a bit. And so each market has a totally different vibe now. I mean, it was kind of 2 years ago, everyone was on the same page. Okay, let's just keep pushing the electric thing. And there was like, okay, some markets are ahead of the others, but everyone knew, even just general consumers, electric is coming. Now in the US market, I would say the general consumer feels like they probably have more choice, which in my opinion is a good thing. If they want an electric car, let them buy an electric car. If they don't. That's my personal opinion. In Europe, I don't think things have changed that much. They're still feeling the electric push. What Europe is feeling is a lot of Chinese influence right now. You drive around Germany and you start seeing Great Wall Motors or a Funky Cats, and you're like, how is this in Germany? This is crazy.
I was in England not long ago, and I rode in like several Chinese EVs, like SUVs, just like being transported around, but like several. I don't even know the names of them, and they were all seeming real good. They all seemed like at the level of like what American consumers can buy from like Chevy right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm staring. I'm like, I've never even heard of that one. I can't remember what it was, but
yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of new brands. There's 100 new car brands in China that are like still existing and going.
and they keep like spawning sub brands. Like every 5 minutes, like a cell phone company hooks up with Geely and they got a new brand.
Their consolidation is coming.
It's
for that
Right.
market.
So
course it's
then
coming,
that brings us to China, which was hardcore EV 3 years ago, even 2 years ago. And now the massive competition has driven everyone to price wars, and it's rooted out a lot of the folks who couldn't compete. So it's leaving some of the bigger, at least conglomerates, whether or not specific brands, but the bigger car organizations. And to be honest, it kind of feels like the Chinese market is actually kind of stagnating a little bit,
Oh, really?
which is unusual, but it does feel softer than it was.
Which part is stagnating?
Sales of electric cars,
Okay, now.
not going to combustion, just car sales
cars
in general. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably heading globally into some sort of recession typey thing. But China was, I mean, they were selling over 1 million EVs a month.
Yeah.
Right. So the total car market in China so US is like 16, 17 million, 15 million, something like that, depending on the year.
Right.
China was like 26 million or something.
Wow.
And like half of that was EVs or something.
Right.
I can Google it, but it was big. But I haven't heard anyone else say it's stagnating. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I feel like the news and the conversation in the US is always a year or two behind what is actually happening in China.
Interesting.
And every time I go there, and now I have some really good friends that live there that are like into the EV thing, I'm just hearing like totally different reports from them from what the general consensus is.
And
here in the US.
what's the general consensus is?
Well, the general consensus is everything Kyle said. That in 5 years ago, right, there were something like, I don't know, you can various pundits said 200, 400 EV startups, big brands, little brands. Yeah, this is the great thing about authoritarian governments, right? They rule. They can set a target 30 years out. And then they'll do things like incentivize the populace to switch to
I was
EV.
going to say that's a thing about.
I know, but
not a great thing.
it's not
a thing.
It's not like the U.S. where we're changing our president every 4 years, and there's a dramatic pendulum swinging back and forth, right? So, China, the Communist Party, they master plan all this stuff. They basically are making all these brands fight like dogs, and only the strongest will survive. And the strongest one currently looks like BYD. You probably. Xpeng's in there. There might be a couple of state-owned ones. NIO's got some pretty cool tech. But then if you talk to some of our colleagues And Western OEMs are like, a lot of those Chinese brands that you love, they are not profitable at all.
Actually, Neo's kind of maybe not gonna.
May
I don't
not
know.
make
We'll
it.
see.
We'll see.
It's not looking great right
I mean,
now.
I'm just old enough to remember back in like the 80s and 90s when it was like Japan's taking over. Japan, they were going to destroy the U.S. car market. There won't be any more American cars. They just bought Pebble Beach. They're going to buy the state of California. We will now, like, it's all doom and gloom. And then like 1996 happened. No one even thinks about Japan anymore. And
I think there's some parallels there. In the bigger picture problem, as Kyle mentioned, is like the sales are way down. There are macroeconomic problems in China dealing with the aging population. There are a bunch of college-aged college graduates that can't find jobs. They're all going back to school for graduate degrees.
Problem.
Or there's this whole phenomenon of lying flat, where they're just deciding not to work. They're going to live at home. So, and the population
is that still an option?
That's an option. It's an option
ready.
here too. Right. So, but let's pivot and focus a little bit more about on the U.S. side, because China's China. I'm not really believing in any of their cars until they come here. But let's talk about
And
cars.
crash tests. I want to see crash test results.
Oh, well, they're looking great in Europe, the crash test stuff
I
so
want to
far.
see American crash tests.
I mean, yeah, Euro NCAP's harder than IIHS, isn't it?
No.
No?
Oh no. IHHS cranks it up constantly. Yeah.
Well, let's start crashing stuff, because everything looks too easy to me.
Yeah.
If everything gets 5 stars, how do you know what's better?
Exactly.
That's why IHS. Not everything does get 5 stars. They actually keep ratcheting it.
Well,
up.
they're moving the goalposts, not so much on the physical,
structure, yeah.
the structure stuff. They're moving it on the
headlights
ADAS,
and
the
all-
headlights.
that's
all that
important.
stuff. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, but I want to talk about some recent to us news. One is which I keep getting served Tesla Instagram ads about how the $7,500 EV credits going away in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I just heard that Ram is going to kill the Ram full battery electric,
Which
They're
doesn't
only-
exist
They're
anyway,
only going to
so,
sell the EREV. Chargers look like they're all going to go back to being Hemi powered. Like who's in the best shape from the U.S. car market? Not just U.S. brands. I'm including Toyota and the Germans and whatever, right? And then who's in the worst shape?
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, I'm so in the weeds on this stuff that it's a bit difficult to look at the actual sales
What do you mean you're in
numbers.
the weeds?
Like, I'm into the actual product of
Right.
what is the right or wrong car. In terms of what consumers actually do with that information and how does it affect a brand, that's not my area of expertise, but I can guess and spitball. I just want to know what's going to happen in 2 weeks when the $7,500 credit goes away. So they're also doing this thing where you can get a binding contract before the end of this month, and your tax credit will retain by the time you take delivery.
Right, but let's go like
Meaning,
a year
like, you
in the
agree to
future.
buy one.
Yeah, like you sign something now and you can't take delivery till November or December. Or,
But like, let's go fast forward a year once the 7,500
oh,
credits.
I
dead
don't
and
actually think
buried.
it makes that much of a difference.
Yeah,
then.
I don't think so
Yeah,
either.
I think the automakers will just have to do what they do, which is sell good products. And, again, it just opens up more choice. I'm not a huge fan of deeply incentivizing the sale of an electric car. I understand combustion, like fuels, are deeply incentivized or,
Did you see
subsidized.
that report where it was like over 31 billion a year go to fossil fuel
It's insane.
subsidies? And then they're like, then that's probably a way under number. Like if you actually look at everything else.
Totally. And I'm not a great macro economist, but I would say, most people that are getting the $7,500 tax credit may not really need it towards their next car.
Right.
So I'm okay that goes away. I think it means American automakers and any automaker that's selling here really needs to step it up and say, not only are you going to get an electric car, it's going to be a better experience than having a combustion car.
Yeah, and they seem to be hesitant to do that.
Yeah.
Like when they're still selling combustion cars.
A lot of that split brand right now is, in short term, probably puts brands in a good position because they can change the mix of what they're
Right,
selling,
right.
and that keeps
Yeah,
them alive.
yes. Which way is the wind blowing?
But
Yeah.
then there's these new startup automakers that are electric only. Tesla, Rivian, Lucid come to mind. I don't know what's going to happen with them. I mean, I think Tesla probably should be okay. They've weathered worse storms. But then with Rivian and Lucid, that's going to be interesting.
But I would just say real quick, like most Rivians and Lucids aren't eligible. They're too expensive anyways. For the
Unless
tax
you
credit.
lease them.
Oh, right, they added that in, right?
The
Well,
lease is how everyone
right,
gets it.
right,
No one is actually buying electric cars. I forget the numbers, but it's like an insane proportion of
right.
leasing. So then you just have manufacturer incentives and hopefully I don't know what that's going to do to the used car market, but it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be really keeping a close eye on it. I don't think anyone can predict the short-term effect. The long-term effect, I think, stays the same. We're eventually going to get to more EVs. That's going to be a thing. It just might get pushed a little bit.
Okay. So you mentioned startups, and those are the established startups. I want to hear about three new brands: Telo, Slate, and then also Ford's FUEV, which I love.
What about
the name.
Scout? Do we care about Scout?
Not really.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Well, let's start with Slate and Telo, or Telo first. Do you have any time spend any time with those guys?
Yeah, so my colleagues have done both of those cars.
Gotcha.
So Slate, first of all, that whole marketing campaign was based off of having the $7,500 tax
exactly.
credit.
Right.
And so now it's,
Right.
those are quite a big percentage
Yeah,
difference.
that's a big
Then you've
percentage.
also got Ford making a direct competitor to that with a much larger engineering team and a much more established brand that we know can get it through to production.
And also my problem with Slate, if you're not familiar, here's our $20,000 car, right? Or
Truck
thing.
right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, it's got 150 miles of range. I don't want that. I want the bigger battery pack. No idea what it costs. And they won't say.
They won't say.
And so like the one that probably nobody except for you wants, the super cheapo one, like the actual one might be double the price.
Yeah, it might be 35, 38 grand.
60 for the 2 motors and a big battery and a SUV back.
Yeah, or like I actually want a speaker in there.
Right. So
So you're making fun of the modular, low-cost approach.
I think it's
get
cool.
it.
I just why not announce pricing? Like it just seems
Well,
really
they don't. How
scammy
could
to
they in
me.
this environment?
Well, or just
They commit to it, right?
I mean, they committed to
Also-
a base price.
Also, let's recall the leading American EV manufacturer and their claims of pricing and how true they've kept. Like a Cybertruck for $39,000, right? Or a Roadster.
go back.
The Roadster 2.
Go back.
Come on.
Well, that's an amazing story. How is he not in prison? That's called theft. But if you go back to, remember when the Model S came out, and he was explaining how it was the same price as a Ford Taurus, and they're like, there was a whole bunch of variables in there. Then you had to value your time at like, what was it, like $500 an hour? It's like,
Nice. Okay, great.
it's like, because you don't have to go to the gas station.
Right.
And if you value your time at $500 an hour,
Okay, so we think Slate definitely has some problems. Telo.
Telo, great design. Really cool looking truck. I mean, it should be fast. The thing is, there's like 12 people that work at Telo, and I'm not knocking them. They've done a lot for a really small team. It just isn't Ford Motor Company. You know what I mean? Like, they've got to get through homologation, durability testing, all of these
where
things.
are they at though? Because we had them on the show. I don't know.
Oh, we just had, I think we had our world's tallest man, Alex Lanz, go out and drive one. I agree. I also think the timing, I'm sure first of all, look back on Slate. Slate's rollout was awesome for a number of reasons. A, they were like super stealth. Nobody had like heard of them. And then all of a sudden these cars started popping up and they put a ton of them out on the streets and they were all mocked up differently in like different, colorways. When they did their rollout, I think they pulled out like 9 different prototype Telo vehicles. Sorry, Slate vehicles. I went to the Telo launch in LA and they were like, here's our one. And it was
Remember, Carroll Shelby had one Shelby. He just kept painting it. So you can do it.
To your point.
At the end of the day, like, I wish all of these well, because in fact, like for my use case, the Telo, the Slate, the Ford thing, that's actually kind of the car I want to have to just drive around town and do stuff, at our spot and like move things around. Like, they're great. The Telo seems to be the most interesting to me. Like, in terms
350
of,
miles of range. It's supposed to have the interior cargo capacity of a Toyota Tacoma and the footprint of a Mini Cooper.
Right.
It's crazy short front end. How's it going to pass crash?
And I know people want little K pickup trucks. Like that's something.
That's the white space.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
it, yeah.
smaller pickup truck
Yeah.
than what's currently
Maverick,
well, maybe just a little bit smaller than Maverick, because Tacomas, Colorados, Rangers are all too big.
They're big, but they also have no space. It's weird. It's like in the interior of the Colorado is like shocking to me. It's like there's nowhere to put sunglasses.
I know that is
weird,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I same thing. Like I want all these things to succeed. I'm just like, that Telo's like, where's it been? Like, what's?
Well, that's the thing. It's hard to like get excited about something that clearly is not on the market and maybe a little bit farther away than the brands would like you to think.
Right.
Because we've even seen, like, for example, startup automakers like Lucid. I was driving the Gravity. Like, that is unfinished software at the moment. And so that's a pretty big established.
Why? Because the Air software finally made it decent enough that it's not.
I don't
That's
know,
like the first thing owners talk about.
I couldn't get the car to turn on for 20 minutes last night, so maybe I'm a little salty. But I was sitting in the back of a dark parking lot trying to move.
You should be salty. Well, car should turn on. That's.
I was like, I'm like key card on the thing.
We'll get to the gravity.
Okay,
Like, we're actually
but I
going
was
to get
just like,
into the
this is
gravity
So,
in a
so
second.
my thing is like, I try not to cover them too closely on my channels, and I try not to think about them too much because I desperately want any of them to work, and I will happily be one of the first customers to get in. Like I reserve the Slate. Like I'm in on that.
I canceled my Cybertruck deposit and put it down on the Telo. So
Yeah, cool.
I'm in.
That seems like the coolest one of the bunch, if I'm honest. I just, who knows until they're on sale.
Where are you on the?
The Ford.
That was
the
it.
Ford,
Where are you
yes.
on the
Because you
Ford?
seem to be bullish on the fact that Ford's got a lot of engineering might, but we've also discussed how some of these bigger companies can't get out of their own way on some of this stuff.
Yeah, but I like how Ford locked that whole engineering team in a different building in California.
Yeah.
And just said, here's a check, blank check, go do what you got to do.
Right.
And then they hired like some pretty cool people.
Doug Field, right?
And like they are, I think, going to have the best opportunity to nail this one. I don't know if they will. Sometimes Fords are always like great, and then there's always the one but.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna recall everything twice.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
no, I remember we had Doug Field on, and we asked him, we said, well, why do you have to have like 2 buildings with Ford? And he's like, look, some of our guys want to go to work in a bathrobe, like, and that's fine. That doesn't fly in Dearborn.
Sure, exactly.
Well,
different cultures.
I'm a little worried because honestly, I saw the press release and it was come through, and I was like, let's tune in. I saw Farley get up there and talk about it. Then Doug Field talked about it. This is now like, what, 5 years into Doug's tenure since leaving Apple and Tesla. Now he is, for those who don't know, Doug is a guy who did Model 3.
Yeah. And the iPhone.
And so, well, parts of the iPhone. So like, or the parts of the Apple car actually. Where,
Yeah, but the iPhone.
where's the thing? Because it's still not going to be out.
2 years?
Yeah, 2027.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's just got to be good. It's hard to get excited about it. But I do think out of any of the brands you mentioned, Ford for sure can get it across the goalpost in terms of just money that they could throw at it. So that's the big difference, I think, here. Slate also has some pretty strong financial backing and a lot of automaker executives working there. So that's a very professional team.
A lot of ex-Tesla. A
Yeah.
lot of people that kind of have left Tesla for all kinds
Slate
of
is
reasons.
an anagram for Tesla. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that in their
Also
presentation.
for the late. There's a whole bunch of them. I saw you saw this at IAA, and I think they don't come online until 2027, 28. But Kia is sort of doing all this stuff. And remember, they have the SV. What are they calling it? The little Kia work vehicles.
Oh, the PV.
PV.
Yeah.
So remember, they have a van body on it. They can,
Yes.
and when I saw it at wherever I saw it, they can drop CES. They can drop a pickup body on it.
Yeah.
And so it's super modular. And I remember what I like about Koreans is like I kind of feel like when they say they're going to do something, it just happens.
Yeah.
And I said, when are we going to see this? And they're like, 2028. You will totally the
cool.
crazy factory will be built.
Yeah.
And they will be level 4 autonomy on the roads on sale in the U.S. 2028. Like, do you have any?
Yeah.
Did you
Don't know about timing.
did you learn anything about the PVs?
Yeah,
Not a
I
good
looked
name.
at the PV5, which is the production one.
That's
I
the
think the
big
first
van.
one. It also debuts their new operating system, which is very Tesla-like with like climate control in the bottom and map as the native home menu. I thought it was a really nice van. Storage was unbelievable. I mean,
Oh, that's the one that's it's just cubby holes everywhere. Everything you touch
the floor
opens.
opens up. It's just insane and looks great. It's a really approachable, friendly vehicle.
Yeah.
I really think the Koreans with their EGMP stuff, which isn't always high voltage, just that architecture, man, they kind of nailed that thing. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't really get excited about like work vans.
Right.
But I remember.
I do too, actually. Yeah.
Whatever. It's like something I don't really have a need for in my life. But I remember looking at like they told me the whole ecosystem of the PV and how like the big giant van will go to one spot and the little vans will unload from it. And I'm like, this is like a little kid. You just you're playing with trucks.
Let's bring it back to the original thesis, which is like, where are we since we were off air? And since that February timeframe, Charger EV has come out.
Yeah. That was a disaster.
Any other thoughts? Like,
Biggest pile of crap that I've ever been in. It's really bad.
No, hang on though, but because when you say biggest pile of crap, like I actually go to the Dodge Nitro. So
Well, it's still another Dodge product.
But what was so What was so extra crappy from your point of view about the Charger?
Yeah, so I mean, I can go on in the nitty gritty of details forever.
5 minutes.
But the Dodge Charger EV, first of all, looks really cool. I think they did a nice job on the design.
Do you like the two-door or the four-door there?
I prefer the two-door, which is probably the only car I prefer a two-door in over a four-door, because I'm a four-door guy. I'm weird. I also like the IQL over the IQ.
You gotta stop talking about design. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Really, every video he does, I'm not a design guy. No kidding.
Yeah, I'm really not. But so from a fundamental standpoint,
Yes.
the Charger and Challenger has always been, to me, that is one of the last true muscle cars that we got in our market. I mean, big V8s.
Sure.
Love Hellcats. I'm a huge fan of all of that.
They're great.
I know it's not for this podcast, but I'm a
Oh, hey, they're great. I had one for a year. Like,
yeah, I'm a Hellcat enthusiast.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah.
So then you go and you say, okay, this is our electric one going
Right.
out. So then it's got to be like, okay, if you had to make a muscle car electric, what is like the first thing it should be able to do?
Burnout.
A burnout.
Yeah.
And it does spin the tires, but it spins the wrong tires.
Oh, it spins the front.
Spins the fronts. And so the weight comes off the front because they did equal power front and rear, and you're doing a front wheel burnout. So I'm sitting at the launch watching all these content creators, everyone going, wow, it spins the tires. I'm like, no, it's the wrong ones.
What launch were you on? The video launch or the
I think
journalist
video launch.
Because they have no idea everything.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
just like, what did I say about the car again? Okay.
That's what I experienced. But anyway, it was just that's one thing. The other thing is driving dynamics wise, if you dig into
I heard it was great, like on the freeway.
Yeah, so it's a cruiser.
Okay.
Yeah, but then so you have to evaluate it. Is it a muscle car? Is it an electric car?
I talk about it as an EV.
As an EV, there are some qualities to it. It's got a relatively big battery. It's a low voltage system architecture, even though Stella Large can support high voltage. They chose to keep it low voltage, but it charges okay. Like it does 500 amps, around 200 kilowatts, pretty deep in the
Decent.
pack.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine. There is zero route planning.
Oh.
There is,
Why? Okay,
don't know.
Yeah.
They tried telling me there was route planning. So I put in, Colorado from where I was in Phoenix, and it's like, I'm at 80% state of charge. You can charge in 6 miles at a level 2 station. I'm like, that is not how that works.
Right.
So zero route planning in a brand new electric car that they're expecting a new audience. That's going to leave everyone stranded.
Right.
Then in terms of driving dynamics, the whole one pedal driving was terribly tuned. So you come off the throttle, the car decelerates, then it smooths out, it coasts, and then jams the friction brakes. I'm like, how hard can it be to just tune a nice speed profile in the car? And the list goes on and on and on.
It's so it just seems, as a general statement, like, not even Stellantis specifically, but like so many manufacturers are hesitant to just do good one pedal driving. All you gotta do is copy what Tesla does. They freaking nailed it.
Just
you see
match
a
that.
red light or yellow light, you take your foot off the throttle, and by the time you get to the line, it's stopped. And
Yep.
it's been doing that for a decade.
Yep.
Like, how can that be hard to copy?
I genuinely don't know.
You know what I mean?
It's
like-
so crazy to me.
What I heard from you and then a lot of other people that were on the Charger launch was that everyone who was employed by Dodge was like, "Oh, we're really sorry about this car. Like,
Yes.
the good one's coming in a year."
Yes.
Like, what the hell is that?
That was the whole. I spoke to as many EV people as I could on that, and I'm like, guys, what's the deal with this? I talked to the chief engineer who didn't know the difference between kilowatt and kilowatt hour. I'm sure she's a very nice person, but I was just like, she didn't know the speed of the capacity of the onboard charger, and then gave me the wrong units. And I'm like, you just clearly aren't in it. And I
Right.
think in order to build one, I even had a sidebar off the record conversation. I think now it's okay to say it, with one of the powertrain engineers. I'm like, why don't you go work for a company that you can actually do good work at? He's like, I know, I'm kind of looking. So it was really rough from a, clearly they didn't want to build it. The car drives as if they didn't want to build it. And the lease prices are amazing. So when you evaluate it as an $80,000 car, terrible. When you evaluate it as $100 a month, nothing down, now it makes sense.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Early in this launch, I had one in LA. I drove it around, and people, they love it. They love the way it looks.
Yeah, it looks
You
good.
take it in parts of LA, they're like, "What's under the hood?" I'm like, "It's electric." Then I
Yeah.
go,
My lunch.
With
Right.
its optional front trunk.
Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, why not just do frunks? I don't like. There's so much weird hesitancy, like do a frunk, like just like the Cadillac Vistic, which is an awesome EV in every way.
Until
except
you
for
open the hood.
You open the hood and it's like Darth Vader's chest plate got exploded. Like you could.
So the
Just
Vistic is a
do it.
bloated Lyric, and you can see where they stretched the metal over the Lyric body,
Sure.
basically.
But
And
but like just like again, Tesla, they figured out like the real fundamentals of the EV game, like have a frunk.
That's why they're so popular.
Yeah,
It just works.
it just
and
works.
And the software integration, it's no longer about a car. It's an entire ecosystem. Does it pair well with your phone? Can you share it to someone else?
Right.
The fact that I have a dog mode is like a mandatory requirement for my lifestyle. And you still can't buy any legacy OE car with dog mode. And VinFast has it.
Oh, is VinFast still around?
I don't know, but
I see a lot of VinFast and Fiskars, but I know they're free.
Right. It might be now when this podcast airs. Like
This
we don't
is
know.
what kills
So,
VinFast.
all right, let me pivot here real fast because then I want us to try hopping into this Gravity and go and then talk about that as we drive, which will be a new feature. But before we do that, because you were talking about route planning and how terrible it was in the Charger, can you just talk about what's the state of charging in America? I mean, you travel so much. Your road tripping is a real part of your content creation process. I mean, it's gotten better, right? NACS is, and that's actually a big one. NACS is now on board, and a lot of manufacturers. We now have adapters coming out of both ends. We have both NACS and CC.
we live in an adapter society
Adapter
now.
society. What's it been like? Is it going to be better?
When does it get really good?
Yeah. When do we just stop talking about what a pain in the ass charging
I mean,
is?
I kind of feel like we're there. I mean, except until you get to California, then it goes to shit,
Yeah,
which makes no
why is
sense.
that? I have a theory. I was going to tell you my theory on
Whoa,
that.
whoa, back up. Really? Like what? Like
Yeah,
what's
Yeah, I don't even think about driving an electric car anywhere else except California, which is why I'm driving an M5 this week and not an EV.
Let me give you the context of why that is, though. Okay, so California has massive EV adoption. Over 20% of new cars sold in California.
we have too many.
We have too many EV. For the last 3 years, every quarter, it's been over 20%. Like was the peak, I think, was like the end of 24 was 21 point something percent. Even the third quarter of 25 was over 20%.
Yeah.
So we've added 3 million EVs in the last 3 years. The number of chargers have not we're talking about fast chargers here.
Yes.
Has not gone up. The number of renters has gone up, and so people that rent, landlords never let you put in a charger. That's what you mean.
This is the California problem.
Fast chargers suck in California.
Yeah, fast chargers suck. I mean, if you have access to a home charger in the state of California, an EV works perfect because by the time you get to the range of where you need to recharge, you're out in the desert, you're somewhere else, and you can charge easily.
Or you charge at night. You get to where you're going and you plug in on level
at your
2
hotel.
at night.
Yeah, totally. It's when you're in LA and you're like, I can go 5 days on this charge, and then you have to recharge. That's when it doesn't work.
So
It doesn't work because when you do find an Electrify America or a charge point,
it's full.
someone else is on it
with
or
10
or
cars waiting.
Broken, yeah, because they just get hammered so hardcore, and people don't treat charging equipment nicely. It's not theirs. So cables get either stolen or broken. The connectors get knocked on the ground. The actual power modules are not maintained to the standard that they should be, so you get derated or charging. And lines.
And there's 3, like where I live, 0.8 miles away is an EA station that has 3.
Is that La Cañada?
No, I'm near Glendale. So
okay.
But there's 3, and then if you go the other direction about a mile, there's 3, and you go to any one 24 hours a day. They're all full, and there's like 6 to 8 cars waiting. Well, even one up in like Montrose or La Crescenta, where there's no people.
But I want the latest. The NACS adoption, the opening up of Tesla Superchargers hasn't helped us at all.
No, it definitely has. I just think also they're slammed in Southern California as well. You go to some of these big sites that they have, and they're pretty busy.
They're slammed, but also they haven't increased the cable length at all. So
Yes.
F1 Lightnings and Rivians,
We can discuss that. Yeah.
and Tesla's dropping the ball there because we're paying them. They should be able to.
Well, let's talk about superchargers then,
Yeah,
if
let's
it
talk
makes
about
sense.
it.
So
Yeah.
there's essentially 3 or 4 major generations of superchargers that kind of fit in this timeline. The first was version 2 superchargers, which uses one 150 kilowatt cabinet to feed 2 dispensers, 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B.
And that was when you'd plug in 2 cars and it would
It
just
would
go
go
to
to
shit.
72
Yeah, it was horrible.
kilowatts.
Yeah.
The thing is, none of those are open to other automakers.
Right.
So a lot of Tesla's early infrastructure was centered around Southern California, the desert, getting around. None of those chargers are open.
Right. And there's a bunch of those. Yeah.
There's a surprising number of them still around.
Yeah.
Then version 3 came out, which was one 360 kilowatt cabinet feeding 4 posts. And then they can do site level load balancing, which is nice.
But the cable's this long.
So the cable's this long. They are liquid cooled, but they overheat like this. They're crazy. So you plug in a Equinox EV that needs 500 amps. You might get a little boost in warm weather of 500 amps, and then boom, now you're down to slow charging. And the cable length is a real problem because you have to pull the car right up on there. You have to block 2 stalls. These can all be retrofitted with version 4 dispensers.
Okay.
I don't know why Tesla has been so slow putting in the long cable dispensers to existing sites. New sites are built with that same charging hardware, but with the version 4 dispenser. Those work pretty well.
And those are up to 250?
Yeah, technically with Cybertruck, they can do more. With pretty much any non-Tesla, they're around 200 kilowatts. Tesla can do 250. Okay. Teslas need more than 500 amps. Tesla will not deliver more than 500 amps to a non-Tesla vehicle right now.
And that's for safety or just like no one knows? Or?
Most adapters are rated at 500 amps, so it's all safety. And the only cars that would request it would be
Lucid.
Nope, that shouldn't do more than 500, but Volvo EX90 and Polestar 3 want more than 600 or more than 500. Chinese stuff, yeah. And then they have the new, which we haven't seen installed yet, version 4 site. So that is a version 4 cabinet and a version 4 dispenser.
And you haven't seen any of those yet?
They have not been installed yet at the time of this recording, very soon. Okay. Those are high voltage supporting, so those can actually do 500 kilowatt output then. And they do one 1.2 megawatt cabinet can feed 8 dispensers. You can link them all together, do site stuff. It's really cool. That's the future.
The first one's going to be?
No, but I know there's some big sites planned up and down the I-5 corridor.
And I want to talk about, because I know I watch an ad for them every time I watch one of your videos. IONNA. Where the hell are they? I want IONNAs.
I think they just opened their first one on the West Coast.
Yeah, but in Vista.
You said it's a bad location.
There's 7 people. Who lives in Vista? That's like a suburb of San Diego.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, yeah. Vista. I know Vista.
Yeah.
There's an EV shop I recommend there, QC Charge. Not sponsored, but they're great.
Lovely. What a beautiful, quaint beach community. But like go to where the massive people are. If you're in the business of making money off charging cars, go to where the EVs are.
Right. So that's the thing with IONNA. Right now, they've been very much focused on corridor charging and not so much in inner city charging. That is changing, and I think they will obviously power both of those situations. But the needs of inner city or urban EV charging is totally different than corridor charging.
Totally different.
Yeah.
But just for the folks at home, IONNA is the new network with 8 OEM partners, 8 car manufacturers, which include BMW, GM, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, Stellantis, and Toyota.
And that's the bulk of the cars sold in the U.S. or those companies. Like you'd think, like if you're trying to sell EVs, just start popping them everywhere.
Well, they are. So they're going as fast as they can. I think there's over 20 or 30 sites already in just a few months. Which is, dude, it's so slow and so hard to put in fast charging infrastructure.
What? Yeah, I know.
I mean, we could do a whole episode on that.
Why, but
yeah, it's transformer upgrades, it's permitting, it's actual getting the chargers there, and
laying the lines. Like I was on that AMG video you did where they
had to put in their own substation at Nardo, which is crazy. Insane. So yeah, I mean, getting power to the location is really hard. So then you see innovative solutions like battery integrated charging, which we have one right over here actually. And that type of solution starts to make sense, but not when you need a lot of throughput. When you have to charge a bunch of cars, you need big power, and that's what IONNA is planning for, which is why it takes a minute.
Carl's talking about, for our SUV of the Year program, we talked to a vendor, Electric Fish, who brought basically a giant battery that you can plug into an outlet, fill it up, and then it will, up to 350 kilowatt output, can charge up, very quickly. I think we were estimating like 3.5 F-150 Lightnings before you would need to fill it up again. But this is a solution because it won't be, to your point, only works if you're just topping off, doing occasional charging, not if it's a busy corridor and you have multiple cars.
So I have a solution like this at our office in Colorado. I have a 230 kilowatt hour battery with 2 dispensers. It's from X-Charge, similar idea. And that very rarely hits 0%. And for that type of use case, we do like 4 or 5 sessions in like the morning and then maybe 10 or 12 in the afternoon. But like most people aren't going 0 to 100. They're going 70 to 90 or 30 to 80 or whatever. So that works pretty well.
So I want to talk about just one thing you said. So when you drive, you road trip everywhere. You drive in Europe, you road trip all over America. You're saying, and you're based in Fort Collins, right?
Mm-hmm. Just come to North Carolina.
You're back in North Carolina.
Yeah, but still have the office in Portland.
But in those different areas, you're saying it's really easy now to get around. You don't have a problem. You don't have a problem basically anywhere.
Yeah, can get Key West to Alaska, no problem.
California.
California, Southern California, big problem. Northern California, still kind of a problem.
Oh, and
It's urban areas that are the problem.
the high
Oh,
vol.
wait, hang on. So because I was gonna say, Vegas is also
Vegas is a disaster.
Vegas is a disaster because everyone's got a Model Y and they are also Uber drivers, and all they do is live at EA stations.
Yeah, but you know, the opening of the Supercharger network really helped get throughput spread across the entire networks right now. And we can discuss, like you mentioned, NACS. Did NACS make the difference? No, but opening up access to the network made the difference. And so that's the bigger thing than the actual connector itself.
Oh, speaking of connectors, because you were talking about how much power you can send through them. You trust the ones you get on Amazon? Are there any ones you would not?
Yeah, some of them are really dangerous. There's with no temperature monitoring, and make sure you're. I think the officials.
What should the guys at home look for? Is there any brands to avoid?
My official stance, I still think, even from a recommendation standpoint, is just use the adapter that your automaker recommends.
Yeah, I think
buy the OEM accessory if you have to.
You'll see in my videos, I'll test some adapters, but in general, I try to use the manufacturer recommended
and that's
adapter.
Smart. That's just it just covers.
One of the brand Electron makes it for a lot of OEMs.
Yeah, of course, but the OE ones are different than the actual one they sell as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the Ford branded Electron one has extra safety stuff in it than just the regular off-the-shelf Electron. Not knocking them, and I'm sure it'll work fine. And most of them will work fine for like the first year or two, but then they'll get corroded, they start to build up resistance. And the way most of these adapters stop charging is they'll say, hey, we have over temperature prevention. Okay, that's great. But they literally have like a thermistor in there that just stops the communication. And so the car has to blow the contactors open, the charger's under a huge backload, and it's super rough on the equipment when they stop charging. The proper way to do it is to do a D-rate based off of temperature, if you have really good temperature monitoring. Usually requires having a powered signal intercepting device. But I'm starting to see some adapters that can do D-rates rather than just straight breaking the whole thing.
I just think, because it's a known weak point, use the OEM one because you just don't want a fire. You don't want your whatever to break. Just use the OEM. It's easy.
And with, however many millions of EVs there are on the road, there's going to be issues. So if you just use the factory stuff, then you can just blame the factory.
Right.
And that's so nice, and it's such good peace of mind to say, hey, insurance company, I used the recommended thing following the recommended procedure. The likelihood of an issue is very low, but when one does happen, that's the most expensive thing you own.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to mess with that, I think.
Okay. Well, that was great. Let's go and do something we've never done before on this podcast.
No, didn't we do it with the Nikola semi-truck?
Oh, yeah, we did a little bit of that.
Oh, those are pretty fast, actually.
They're rad.
Yeah.
Well, we've never done it with a consumer
illegally
grade
drove
EV.
one.
Let's go hop into
Around Beverly Hills.
Oh, nice.
Let's go hop into the Lucid Gravity. Gravity is inevitable. I wanted to make that joke. That's a good one, right?
No,
That's a terrible
that's a
joke.
bad joke.
Let's get into the Lucid Gravity Grand Touring and go for a drive and just continue the conversation there.
All right, so to give you guys an idea of how far my star has fallen career-wise, I was the very first non-Lucid employee to drive an Air, and I'm just driving a Gravity now for the first time ever.
In the pouring rain.
In the pouring rain.
On the oval, the 6 Mile Oval
Yeah.
at Hyundai Proving Grounds. This is Kyle's first time here.
Yes.
We are sharing with some Hyundai drivers, so let's not freak them out too much.
I'm going 85 in the 90s. So.
Okay.
Speed up.
It's raining. If you can hear the little ticky-tack, ticky-tack. It's weirdly raining here during our SUV of the Year program. Almost never happened.
Yeah, I didn't know it rains in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Oh, flash flood. It's going to be awesome. Just wait till we get swept away.
Drifting laps. Here we go.
While I'm riding in the back, I actually have driven this. I drove it with a bunch of Lucid folks around their headquarters a couple months ago. I met the new CEO, hung out with their PR guys, and then Kyle, had you driven this prior to showing up here
Yes, I've spent quite a bit of time with the Gravity. Yep.
in the Grand Touring and the Touring?
Only the Grand Touring.
Oh, the Grand Touring.
And we're in the Grand Touring now.
Yes.
This is like 123,000, and
Pretty
it's got
juicy spec.
800...
28 horsepower. or so.
28 horsepower.
Yeah.
How big is the battery?
It's 118 kilowatt hours, if I remember
Oh, so
correctly.
it's bigger than the Air.
Yeah, it's basically a similar layout, but the chemistry is a bit more energy dense. So they got a few more kilowatt hours, and there also charges. Not only did they go up in energy density, they went way up in charging performance.
No, which is crazy because in my mind, for stuff you can buy in the States, Lucid was always the best in terms of charging performance. Like, or I shouldn't say that, but like speed.
Yes,
You'd see
they hit-
huge kilowatts.
Yeah.
On the Air.
And then it would crash.
Okay.
And so Taycan was always like not as big power as the Air, but would hold it pretty deep.
Right.
And Air was also incredibly thermally sensitive. So if you did a lot of charging, driving, it would suffer a little bit. It seems like this new Panasonic cell is just a little bit more up to the task of handling stuff. I've done 3 or 4 0 to 100% charging sessions with Gravity,
wow.
and it's been so stable, so predictable, which I
what
could
is-
never say about the Air.
What is the charge curve like?
Dude, it's really good actually. So it's 405-ish kilowatt peak.
Oh,
and
wow.
it kind of sits wide open for like the first 20 or 30%. At around 50%, it's still doing over 200 kilowatts. I want to say 0% to 80 is around 20 minutes
So
from
wow,
zero,
really?
which is really
That's
good.
insane.
Considering how much of an energy cell this is.
That's insane, actually. That's great. Because,
Yeah.
well, okay, so for people listening who maybe aren't.
All right. What is a Gravity, right?
Well, no. The Gravity's it's a Lucid SUV. No, I want to say like 400 kilowatts in is rad.
Yes.
What is 200? How do you rate that? Is that
Yeah, that's the most Rivians can do, for example, and
Yep.
it's a little weak sauce.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that doesn't really work. Like Rivians on a road trip take a minute, but if you have families, like it's still fine. Totally okay. It's just I think this is the level in 2025 where we need to be for charging, and I think more than just the numbers, it's the repeatability, the predictability,
Sure.
and then also the software to help manage the battery temperature ahead of the charging session. That this really works well at compared to Air.
For American consumers, who's doing the best charging right now? If I want to buy a vehicle just based on all I do is road trip, I'm
Yeah.
Kyle Connor Jr., I just need fast charging on the road, who's the best?
So it's J12 Taycan or e-tron GT.
Yo, hell yeah, baby.
And this.
Okay.
They're actually pretty close.
Wow.
This is probably, considering the size and space and everything you get, this is probably the best road tripper from an on-paper standpoint you can get. It also rides really well, it's quiet. Software needs some work.
Right. Yeah, but that's been the Lucid story from day one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, let's talk a little bit about the package first before we talk about the software. So, as I was trying to interject, for those who are not familiar at all, this is the second vehicle from Lucid. This is the 3-row
we're getting
SUV.
a lot of water. I'm going to slow it down. It's all
Full
over the freaking
hydroplane.
place.
Some hydroplane.
Yeah.
I saw ESP kicking on there.
Yeah. It's like, I'm slowing it way down.
Massive amount of room. Second row is great. I sat in the third row during a stint around Northern California. Very comfortable environment. I do want to say it looks like a minivan. I get some strong kind of Sienna vibes.
Yeah,
on
the design
on the outside.
is
How do you guys feel as you guys are Rivian homers and they have a pretty good
Oh,
3-row
Rivian's
SUV?
way better.
as a
As a what? Looks or
Doesn't that,
package?
the looks.
oh looks. Oh yeah. I mean, oh look, R1T. Come on.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because I'm a real big fan of the Air. I think it's like basically if Citroen came out with a new DS, I think it would be the Air in terms of design. I'm not from the A-pillar forward. I'm not crazy about the way it looks. It's I wouldn't say minivan, but you know what it looks like. Remember the Chrysler Pacifica, where it was
I think
like
it's another minivan.
in between. Not a minivan.
Oh, you mean the original?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I meant the Chrysler Pacifica from 2003.
Sure, I know what you mean.
Sorry.
It's got some of those vibes. in
It's
there.
it's like a smashed SUV.
Yeah.
It kind of looks a little.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my perspective, the design is one thing. I think the packaging is clearly amazing in this car.
Yeah.
We would all agree.
Huge.
The thing is, in the EV space that I live in, this has been kind of the holy grail everyone's been waiting for.
Okay.
And so I've driven it a few times throughout its production cycle. And so now really getting to spend more time with it. I drove one last night, for example, spending time with this car. The driving quality, the range, the charging, that all stacks up. What I'm a little bit disappointed with is the actual bugginess of the software, which this car went on sale. To be fair, I know Lucid's a small company and they started small deliveries. This car's been on sale for 9 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it to me, no excuse to be this buggy.
But that was sort of, I remember, I actually talked a lot of people into buying Dream Editions, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I would talk to all of them. They're like, the software sucks. And I'm like, I hate hearing that because, I did that big road trip with
I remember,
Peter.
yeah.
And it was awesome. And the car was fun. There was one thing they're like, hey, this doesn't work. And it was like, I don't know, like cruise control or something. Like, all right, I won't mention cruise control. Fine. Whatever it was. And okay. And it seemed fine. And then every Lucid I got after that for a while was like just a disaster.
But Air is pretty solid now.
Now it's
works.
super solid.
Yeah.
And I just like.
But why is that? Like, shouldn't it be the same software at a core level? Not that there would be no sharing.
There's almost no sharing between this and Air. Maybe some of the logic and graphics and design, but the system's totally different. This is way more powerful, way more headroom. And it actually has very fast route planning, and it has dog mode, and it's got great features. It's enough where I would feel comfortable as a content creator to buy it and make videos about what they need to fix, of course.
Sure.
But it's a really
what's
need
broken?
to fix this.
Tell us what's broken.
Well, you got an issue even starting.
I
it,
made
right?
a list last night, actually. And I only
I
drove this
love
car
lists.
for
I
2
love
hours.
lists. Yeah.
And I've got, hold on, that's a different list. I've got, this was everything that went wrong.
Show the camera. Show the camera.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so I will also say this though. Kyle seems to have bad luck with things breaking.
I'm also
cars.
nitpicky.
You are very, yeah.
There's some edging around the screen that didn't line up.
Give us the big bullet points. What needs
so
to be fixed?
There was a couple things where the nav was completely freezing, where unless I pulled up nav on the bottom screen, the top screen wouldn't refresh.
Okay.
The headlights still make noise, which drives me insane.
What do you mean the
The
headlight?
Air has this problem too, and it
because
is,
of their high-tech headlights?
yeah, the ECU drivers, or they explained it to me at one point what it was, but for wherever you sit in the driver's seat, I can audibly tell when the headlights are on or off.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is not appropriate for a car.
Yeah. You might have a little bit of pee under the mattress princess syndrome.
Yeah, there's something going on that's not right with me. But the average age of a Lucid owner will never hear that noise.
Right.
But it still shouldn't be there.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And so that's kind of annoying.
all right.
Yeah, they're the power meter. If you go on cruise control, which we can set. Sorry for doing
done that. No, it's fine.
Is that button there? Active.
Why
cruise
is it
control
dropping
disabled.
to?
Click that bottom right button again.
Okay.
There you
How
go.
do you?
You're good. But this is a bit awkward, as it's centered with the road, but doesn't fit with the screen. So there's some things that I want them to move
Design
around.
stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
stuff like that. But then real functional things, I genuinely was stuck in the back of a parking lot for 20 minutes trying to get the car to turn on.
No, those things happen.
Did just not recognize?
Wouldn't recognize the key itself or the key card, both on the B pillar or down here, and the car was just on, but wouldn't go into gear.
I will say my biggest pet peeve was with the Air was that weird meter, which just showed you what your throttle was doing.
Yes.
And it was constantly doing this the whole time you drove.
Unless you had the cruise control on standby.
Yeah. But they got rid of that, so that's my biggest gripe.
Hey, next time,
Yeah.
let's try the ride road. We can,
okay, yeah.
Let's see how this goes. Are we in the most comfortable setting?
No, we can go here to
so
smooth.
let's get into smooth.
And then we got to
and
raise
then-
up to standard. So this is optioned with the performance package, or whatever they call it, triple chamber air suspension now.
Ooh.
And so the ride quality of this car, I think, is unmatched in the segment.
Okay.
Bouncing around a little bit though, to be
Well,
honest.
we're on something that hasn't been repaved in 20 years.
Yeah,
and-
but so
Yeah, I mean, the back seat might be totally different than the front as well, but I, at least in my limited experience driving this car from an evaluation standpoint, the car I took yesterday did not have the performance dynamic handling package. I thought that was great too. So
well, let's ask Jonny for just. Hey,
Yeah.
This is now you've been 7 minutes or so
Yeah.
first time driving it. What are your initial impressions? And make sure you get in the right lane to get in the right road.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll go a while for the ride road. I can dive bomb. I mean, I rolled down the window. It feels, and you said it's been in production 9 months. It feels kind of, I don't know, startup-y. The window kind of went down in a non-OEM way, in my opinion.
yeah, they ramp speed with their windows, so they start really slow and then pick up. Volvo does that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It feels fine. It feels. Look, I'm just on an oval, so it's hard to say anything. The steering feels a little more numb than I remember from Airs. And I remember it's also tough because again we're on an oval and we're in the rain.
Yeah.
But I always remember with airs like getting in them and just being like, God damn, it's a good car.
Amazing. It's amazing.
You know that, and I remember the one that blew my socks off was I had it for a week. It was I think it was just called the Touring. It was 2-motor, 600 horsepower. It was like almost 100 grand, and I'm like, this car rules. Like this is 600 horsepower. By the way, is like M5 power.
Yeah.
And it's like totally what you need. Squirting through traffic. All right, here's the. This is supposed to mimic various freeways around LA.
Yeah, the 110, the 10,
The 710.
710.
Yeah, 710 being the worst.
So you should get some tire slap here.
All right,
This is also for Kyle's edification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some pretty wicked.
And we are on the biggest wheel and tire
Yeah.
as we hydroplane over everything.
Yeah. We'll see. How
It's
it goes.
pretty
Yeah,
pretty
this is actually
Not bad.
this is not bad at all.
On bad cars, you can hear the fuck.
Yeah. Okay, now we're switching freeways. So I think now we're on the 405. That was the 110. Somebody told me this like 15 years ago, and no one's ever confirmed it. But the last one is supposedly the 710, and that's all the port traffic,
Oh,
all semi trucks. So it's just like the worst freeway surface in the universe. And you can see how bad it is.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
and this is really good suspension.
yeah.
This is very good. You're very
super
isolated.
pleased.
Yeah, put the Macan in like sport mode and race over this.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Macan's on air suspension too.
It is.
I don't know what has terrible suspension. Find something with bad suspension.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few cars out there.
Back to the sort of user experience. I know the software's got some bugs. A couple of the other guys mentioned that the screens were freezing or blanking out on them.
Yeah.
But just in general, I spent time in a Lucid Air over the summer, and this was after I'd driven a bunch of Chinese cars. And I'm struck by, Lucid's premium. They got a lot of style. They got the California aesthetic. It's very the palette, the color palette on which I described it.
Interior is so cool.
It's very, but is it enough? Like, you spent a lot of time in China driving Chinese EVs. Is there enough whiz bang, cool features?
You mean like quirks and features? Some might say.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I don't know. To answer that question, I think that is drawn by the consumer. What I think Lucid needs to work on a little bit more, and I think they're close with the Gravity. Like a lot of the bugs that we're experiencing. Clearly doesn't seem to be a hardware problem with the car.
No,
it is
software.
just software. So I feel like give it another 6 months or a year, this should be dialed in and all of our points will be moot. But the problem is it's a $120,000 car. You shouldn't have to wait for it to be good.
Yeah, and that's why, like, again, I always get accused of working for Rivian. God, I wish they would pay me. Anyhow, like, it was good from day one. And then every time they do an update, it gets better. But, like, you never really had buggy software, It was,
Yeah, a lot of that is thanks to Wasim's team. I mean, like,
Sure.
I've had my fair share of Rivian problems and software bugs and things, but it's been nowhere near the level of what Lucid has gone with. As someone who, like my dad had an early Air, for example.
Okay.
And so we're pretty familiar with that car. I'm actually really impressed with the stability over water with this
I
car.
was at 120, by the way. I've seen Ed's face. I've seen his kid. I'm like, maybe we should make it back.
What I think in general the Gravity offers is Lucid to really show the world that they are now a big boy automaker. The leniency that we gave them with the Air is now kind of used up.
Yes.
And it was used up through their process. And so I think it's fair that everyone's a bit more nitpicky on this car because it really needs to be good. And little things like the headlight making noise drives me insane. But then you look at the overall package, so zoom out and you go, wow, this is probably the best driving electric SUV on sale. It's certainly the best road tripping. It's an incredible space offering. And to me, it is still the top choice.
All right, let me ask you this, though.
Well, wait a minute, I won't pause there. So, really, like, you would take this hands down over in R1S?
Yeah, absolutely. You park them next to each other, I'm taking this.
What about, and I know this is a little bit unfair to Tesla because that car's so old at this point.
Yeah.
But Model X.
Yeah, this
nothing,
all day.
No,
Yeah.
no
The one
competition.
thing Model X has that I enjoy, I know I'm a nerd, is Tesla's FSD system. I really do like driving around town and just showing up in places. It's like I have my own little space pod. It's cool. If this had that level of autonomy, it would be so perfect.
And then last question, because I know Jonny wants to jump in here. Who is doing the mobile app experience the best of those three, or is anybody else even in contention, or is it still Tesla?
Tesla.
You think Rivian
Over
even close?
Rivian?
Oh yeah. I can
Really?
share a phone key to someone right
Okay,
now.
now that's a problem because Rivian supposedly can do that. Never works.
No, and you can't really, you can, but you can't like remote activate the car. So like, for example, my Model S is sitting in front of my garage at our office.
Okay.
And we had like someone go to do a delivery and I'm like, oh, just move the car out. I had the key, I had my phone.
Right.
I just unlocked, remote started, tow testing. Unlocked, remote started, and then they were able to get in and move the car. There's
Yeah.
dog mode, which
Yeah.
Rivian has, but
Yeah.
Tesla still has the best ecosystem by far.
Second is who? Rivian?
Yeah, probably Rivian, and Lucid has a pretty good new mobile app as well. They have you can view the cameras remotely. That's coming.
all Rivian can kind
do
of
you
do
rate
that.
Ford or Hyundai at all? In their
Yeah, they're
mobile?
really bad. Like the Hyundai Kia app is really
It's
bad.
bad. That one I know.
The Ford app can't do anything really.
Right.
Yeah, I mean Tesla. It's so simple though. The formula's been there for years.
Again,
Just look at what's
just-
there
yeah,
and
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
It's-
How
and-
hard can it be?
Dude, what's weird is because I know how automakers build cars and they benchmark and they actually literally say they make the decision and it's just on a spreadsheet. Do we want to be best in segment or average in segment with our new product? And again, they literally are people who make the decision. Let's be average. Let's not be best in segment, which is weird. But none of this is hard. Like pet mode
Yeah.
is not a hard thing, right?
Totally.
It's weird. I want to get back to one.
Wait, did I hear the noise? Was that I just thought I just heard some noise off of the. No, never mind.
I think that was rain or something. All right. One thing to say, then a question to ask you. But so, I happened to have a Mercedes on Halloween last year. So Rivian went absolutely bananas for Halloween. You had Knight Rider, you had the Back to the Future time machine, or you had the creepy thing with bugs coming out
That's right.
of the screen. It
Yeah.
made noises. It had new colors.
Yeah.
The front would turn green. Mercedes, you know what their Halloween thing was? I had
Little
that
pumpkin on the screen.
little pumpkin on the screen that was the size of my thumb.
Yeah.
And it's
Graphical goodies they call them.
but it looked like the internet in 1996
Yes.
pumpkin GIF.
Well, that's the difference between building a car that has a screen versus a software experience that has wheels.
Okay.
And if you can make the software experience fantastic, which almost matters to consumers more than the
Yeah.
car these days, to some consumers.
Or in
And
China, it matters more.
In
Yeah.
China, they really care
Yeah.
about this stuff. But then if you can also make the car not even great, but good and passable,
Yeah.
then you have yourself a sales success. And the thing with Rivian is they have really great software and an amazing product. And that's why that car works so
Yeah.
well. It's still a premium price. It's still exclusive. You can't, they're expensive, but yeah.
Okay, so you're saying this is over the R1S. Now, my new king of electric SUVs, in terms of I just want to have this, Escalade IQ.
Hell yeah. I love that thing.
Would you take, these are parked next to each other. You can't sell them. You just grab the key and go.
Yeah.
Which one are you taking?
I'm taking this.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason is,
Yeah.
I think on the highway, the Escalade just makes you feel like a boss, and I love that thing. You put the sound system on, and you're just, you're the
Yeah.
king of the road. The thing that it lacks that this surprisingly has is this insane athleticism. This
Okay,
car
right,
is
right.
an absolute monster on a back road.
Okay.
And it's unbelievable.
So I haven't got to experience that yet. I
Right.
do value that. It's one of the
Yeah.
reasons I like Rivian so much.
Yes. And this will smoke a Rivian.
Oh,
back road.
yeah, sure. But I've done a little bit. I think the small Escalade IQ.
Yeah.
I took it on Angeles Crest.
You're right, the non-L.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine, but it's not. You never said it's athletic, but looking down on a Ford F-250 while the car's driving itself, it's just.
That's a different kind of.
Yeah, so it's
Well,
the
but
American
price,
land
but
yacht.
price point, not really.
Right.
All right,
yeah.
They actually are competitors, and I shot when I first drove the Escalade IQ, I went ahead of the media launch and stole one from a dealer because dealers got them before media.
That's Cadillac's new thing.
That's the way they launch cars
Yeah,
these days.
it's
And
so
I'm not
weird.
here to play game with that. So I went to a dealer. And then I took it to Lucid's headquarters.
Right.
And they pulled up a Gravity. And dude, it looked like you could drive over the Gravity with the Escalade. And we were with all the executives. We're driving both of them. I'm like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the Escalade.
Yeah.
This is better.
How does the conversation go with the dealer? When
Yeah.
you're at a bar? You rent it? You do it?
No. They're like, we know a lot of our viewers work at dealers and stuff. And they're like, hey, we just got an Escalade in. I'm like, great, I'll fly there.
You've got an amazing viewership because
Yes.
I'll make a video, not me. Okay, MotorTrend will make a video about an electric car.
Yeah.
And you read the comments.
We'll just get
and
murdered.
It's just insanity. I'm just like, what planet are you guys on? you'll be like, oh yeah, like the nerdiest, weirdest thing, and your commenters are like, be nerdier. You only talk for 30 minutes about like a charge port.
Yeah, some of them like shorter videos, but it takes me a while to explain anything, so that works well.
But I mean, so shout out to your viewers.
Totally.
I'm very like, wow, this is
we have found our niche. We have the coolest viewers.
It's really impressive.
Well, they're like, a lot of them are in-market shoppers who just want more information, but a lot of them also are engineers or just people that care about the little details and stuff. And one thing I'm trying to do a little bit more that you guys are really good at is like zooming out bigger picture stuff. I'm just so into like, oh, this little thing is annoying, so I hate the car.
It's funny. So like, I started my own YouTube channel, but my partner in that is this guy Rilek, and he's got his own channel, blah blah blah. Anyhow, but we had this thing. It's called a good off topic for a second, Ed. But it's Makellos. They're this little like Porsche tuner in San Diego.
Yeah.
They need an identity, but my God, they make good stuff, right?
Yep.
And they had a 915 transmission, so that was a period correct transmission in the 70s. And you got to be intentional. Like that's where third gear is, and I'm going to third gear.
Get it in,
and it takes muscle. Car's awesome, right? And I let Riley drive it, and he's like, I don't know, man, like the transmission. I'm like, okay, that's the one thing, like, all right, maybe we're not used to that, but anything else is like, I just can't get past it. I'm like, but what about how rad it is? I'm like, it's so great. Like, yeah, but like.
Yeah, so there's a few things that are like deal breakers for me. Pet mode is one of them. Like, I just can't understand how you can launch a car. Yeah, someone who has like dogs and stuff.
I got dogs.
Yeah, but I bring them with me places, and I want to leave them in the car. That's like such a needed thing.
Okay, that's a
other
weird
things
deal
as
breaker.
phone as a key. I don't want to carry a key fob. I just want my
right
cell
there
phone
with you.
to work. Like this, it works great on Fords. It works great on Tesla.
Let's get this on the
Rivian.
record. How about start buttons on EVs?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, but I think it's dumb.
Okay.
I think Porsche does it best actually, which is you can choose to use the start button or not.
But why have it?
Right, why have it?
What
But
about
it's just a mental thing for some
What about
people.
this new Model Y Juniper, the predictive shifting? Do you like that?
Yeah, I use that on my car. I think it works like 99% of the time.
It works most of the time.
But the problem is you always have to look because the one time it doesn't work, you're now into someone's mailbox.
Right.
Okay. But even more than that is FSD.
Go ahead.
The last 6 months, I hated people going on about FSD forever. Now I'm one of those people. Dude, I do not drive anymore. Like, I love to drive for fun. Like, give me a back road. You've been with me on roads. That's my
tear it
thing.
up.
Love it. To go to like Starbucks in the morning, I just sit in my Tesla now. I go boop in the driveway, and then I'm like, oh, I'm there.
And so you're literally hitting Starbucks on the nav.
Yeah.
And it drives
and I hit
itself.
start. It pulls itself out of the driveway. It gets me to Starbucks.
I'm rapidly on board with that too. I just
It's
took
so
over
good.
on our Model Y, and the FSD is. I know our colleague Alex Lean's had several issues with it.
Alex did, yes.
But so far, it's been very, very impressive, especially when you consider it is camera only.
Yeah.
And the things it can do in Los Angeles.
And the camera only
crazy.
thing is proving out to actually kind of be the right way. Did you see this big D-car Chinese driver assistance test?
Yes.
The Teslas did better than anyone else?
Yes, and all the guys with LiDAR crashed into the trucks, crashed into areas. So similar in the Tesla, because I want to stay with this, and this also goes back to our early question about what's new in 2025. Where is out of spec Kyle on AI? Are you using Grok in the car? Do you use AI for your content creation? Are you on board? Are you also kind of a naysayer?
Yeah, not a naysayer at all. I think I'm not using AI to its full capabilities for what I do. I think there is, in the video space, so from a business perspective, I think there's going to be a real desire for genuine natural content. And what I mean by that is not AI edited crazy. And we already see that in a sense where heavily produced cinematic videos do way worse than a dude with an iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, some of my biggest things that I've done is literally just like, shooting vertical with an iPhone. I forgot to even set the frame rate correctly.
Yep.
And people want that, like, the authenticity.
Yeah, so there's an inverse relationship between effort and views.
Yeah.
And so that's why my stuff is always just iPhone, because it works. And it's just a dude with a phone, which is me. I'm not like a big Top Gear video producer. It's just Kyle's interested in a weird car. Let's film that. And I've been trying to, get more people to understand you don't need to go crazy. With AI, I think it's going to be even more desirable to see just a dude experiencing cars in our case or whatever it might be that they're reviewing. And
that's I agree.
What I do use AI for is when I am like, here's a car, you have 10 minutes to go film it. Get the gist of stuff. You always have to check the specs, but just to get an idea of like where it stands up, and I use that.
And what are you using? Are you using Perplexity or Gemini?
So
or Grok?
Perplexity's amazing. I use ChatGPT and Grok quite a bit. Grok I use in the car because it's built into my Tesla now, and I can have like full-on conversations with it. As an example, I bought an R53 Mini Cooper S for a fun project for my channel, and I'm a huge Mini enthusiast, love it. It blew up 10 minutes after buying it for my best friend. And I was like,
Perfect.
Grok, what should I do? Should I sell the car or scrap the car? Should I
Kill
put in,
your best friend.
Yeah, should I put a new engine in it? What type of engine? Should I build
Right.
a race motor? And I was just going to Starbucks one day and it walked me through the options. It said, here's the aftermarket parts you should consider. Here's the rough cost that you can expect to pay. And I'm just sitting in the car anyway. And I hate voice assistants
Yeah.
with a passion. They don't work.
Right.
Grok worked amazing driving there. The thing is, it has no vehicle function. What I think would be cool is to be like, Grok, what kind of car is that there? Or what is this
Sure.
building? Or, once it starts
Yeah.
tying in with the vehicle
All
cameras.
that's supposed to be coming.
Yeah.
So do you run into problems? This is even my problem. I use whatever I do with AI, I do it wrong, and I always get it's horrible and frustrating, and I hate it.
Yeah.
But do you get bad information? Because now, constantly when I like do a search on Google, you get the AI answer,
Yeah.
and like,
It's wrong.
and I know I have a good brain for like torque specs,
Yes.
and like I got nailed actually on Spike's Car Radio, another podcast I do.
Yeah. Great show.
Thank you. For the Thor's Hammer mode and the GMC Sierra EV
Oh, sure.
AT4, right before we went on, I did a quick AI search,
Yeah.
and it said 885 pound-feet of torque, and it's 775.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, and I didn't save it, but I remember it said 885. And I'm like, that
Yeah.
makes sense because the Hummer's 1,000. Like,
Right.
you
Seems in the ballpark.
Yeah, but like, it's like, do you worry about getting it wrong?
Yeah, I don't really quote hardcore power figures, and if I do, I grab them from the manufacturer specs or from
Got it.
R-test numbers.
Okay.
I think it's more just to get the general idea of a car right now.
Okay.
Yeah, AI it's like, it could be so good it can get you into sticky situations. I think for anyone out there who's wanting to make content, keep it genuine.
Yeah.
That's the future of like what people are going to want to consume in the future.
Yep. Oh, well said.
Well, on that note,
Oh, we got another 6 miles.
well, yeah, we did.
Want to see top speed in the wet?
Top speed sideways.
Just kidding. Well, I can review the Gravity a little bit more.
Yeah, is your massage still going?
No.
Oh.
Why do massages turn off?
I
Kyle?
hate that
Why do
so
mas-
much.
No,
Like
by the
20
way,
minutes.
This is the most
Speaking
entitled
of software,
like wine and cheese. Every complaint the hot rod guys ever had about MotorTrend. Why do massages turn off ever? Thank you.
yes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just in a car that doesn't shut off. And what was it?
Oh.
Because it was
Oh,
a reason to
BMW.
buy that car.
BMW.
No. God, I can't remember what I was driving, but it doesn't shut off. And it's the,
I
oh,
asked-
it's my Super Duty. I bought a Ford Super Duty. And it's my own car.
Okay,
and it
yeah.
stays on the whole time.
Is
Best
that
feature?
That's still that weird air bladder massages.
Yeah, but it feels like this. It's
Okay.
like got the little rollers in there.
Oh, okay.
I got a limited, a nice one.
Oh.
And yeah,
wait,
that
wait,
thing's
wait.
the fifties.
F250.
350. Yeah.
Dually.
No, I really wanted a 450, a dually,
Why didn't you get one?
because it would put me over CDL with my trailer. So you
yeah.
actually have to
Yeah,
get a
yeah, yeah.
less capable truck
Right.
to be safer.
You don't
which
want
makes no
I've
sense.
seen you the way what you do for fun. You
Yeah.
don't want CDL.
No, you
Yeah.
do not. So,
So
I
that's
don't
commercial vehicle license.
Yeah.
And what that means is like, if you're 1 mile and over and you get pulled over, you go to
You're
prison or they
yeah.
cut your hands off or
Want, yeah,
something.
like
very bad.
insurance goes up like 500%.
Yeah, and
so-
if you get caught, like legal limit is like 0.08. If you get caught like 0.001,
Yeah.
you just die. They
So
kill
I
you
got a
under your
truck
life.
and trailer combo that's
Okay.
1 pound under CDL.
Okay, what is the CDL limit?
It's 26,001 pounds.
Okay.
Gross combined vehicle weight rating, which means the maximum payload of both.
Sure.
And I'm 26,000.
Okay,
going down
and
the
so an F350 single wheel.
It's 12.
No. What's the truck weigh? It's like
Yeah, the truck itself weighs
8,000?
8,000, but you go off of the GVWR.
Yeah.
So it's 12,000 on the
That's
truck
right.
and 14 on the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy how a dually adds 1,000 pounds.
Oh yeah. Dually could add more, honestly. Yeah, it's insane. But the 450s look great.
Yeah.
But I know it's an EV podcast, but I'm a diesel truck guy too.
Right. Because you got to tow those
You got to
Gotta tow those damn electric cars with no
when you run them
range.
down to zero for fun.
I got a mobile DC fast charger for that. Shout out Charge Rigs. They sent me this couple 100 kilowatt hour battery with 2 DC ports on it. So now I pull up, I can tow it behind my R1S.
Yeah.
I can run a car out of charge and charge it off the side of the road.
I do love a good heavy duty pickup. Like light duty pickups, but a heavy duty pickup, there is kind of like we're talking about with the Escalade, where you're just in your own world.
Absolutely.
It's your own universe.
You see a trailer on the side of the road, I can tow that, no problem. I love it. I love big diesel V8s anyway. I just think they're great.
Dying breed.
Totally.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's finish up with, because we are at SUV of the year. Kyle's about to drive a bunch of vehicles. Johnny, you drive a bunch of vehicles. You're getting a new one in your driveway every other day, it
Every
seems.
day. Yeah.
What are you most interested that's coming soon or you're about to drive? Something we haven't talked about yet. Is there any particular vehicle?
EVs.
Yeah, okay. Whatever.
I was going to say Ford Expedition.
Oh, I was going to say Ford GTD.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Okay, so
Would
Mustang
love to have a
GTD
go on that.
for,
Yeah.
for Johnny.
I also the big Corvettes. I haven't got a ZR1
Yeah,
or the horribly named fax machine 01X.
right. There you go.
All right, Johnny's all performance.
Yeah, so for SUV of the year, I think it's hilarious how a Leaf is included in SUV of the year, but Nissan classifies it as an SUV. Against the criteria, I actually think it's going to do really well because it's an incredible value, it's efficient, it's a huge upgrade for the Leaf. And I'm sort of a Leaf apologist. I think it's a great car. I have 3 Leafs.
Look, the Aria. I think the Aria is a great car.
The Aria just today. Did you see the
I
news?
know. Did you hear about this?
But the Aria is not a great car.
Oh, I like it a lot.
Oh,
What's wrong with
Get
the
me
Aria?
out of
wait,
this thing now.
wait, you like the Leaf and you don't like the
yeah,
Aria?
the Aria driving-wise is actually surprisingly good.
Yeah.
But it's about the ecosystem of the car,
Oh,
and
it's
it has a
terrible.
0.
No. I'm not saying I was shocked. I was like, I really like this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I drove one. I'm
Oh,
like, wow,
yeah.
the all-wheel drive's got like torque vectoring on the rear
that's
axle.
great.
It's pretty good.
All right, so Kyle's into the Leaf. Anything else?
Yeah, Leaf. I have not spent any time with Q6 e-tron. My colleagues have done that, so I think that'll be interesting.
I've driven that.
I forgot I drove the A6 e-tron.
Oh, this is a great story. Tell this story. This
Yeah.
is wonderful.
I went on the first drive of the A6 e-tron, and I've shot a whole nerd video. And then like 3 months goes by, and I'm like, I saw someone else post an A6 video. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I drove that car, and I forgot to post the video. It just had completely escaped my mind.
Yeah.
So sorry, Audi.
I've had that happen. I mean, years ago, I almost wrote like a mea culpa about, I call them dead soldiers, like where I was gonna write something and just kind of never happened.
Yeah.
And nobody cared.
Yeah. Nice.
The OEM didn't care.
Yeah.
You know.
I did that with a Macan when COVID hit.
Oh yeah.
Or our photographer Renz's first photo shoot with me driving around in the refreshed Macan, and then I never got it.
You know what I think is a secret? Let's actually drive up over here. You know what I think is kind of a secret competitor here that no one really expects is the Cadillac Vistic.
Just spent a lot of time with the Vistic. It's real good.
It's stable.
Real good.
Like from a software perspective, it
Yeah.
looks good. It drives really well. It just is a battery and charging curve away from really being this.
So what's funny is, I'm gonna just do the VDA for a second.
Hell yeah, traction control off.
Oh, and
Hold on,
no,
let's-
the Ed's in the back.
It's all right.
Ed, buckle up.
Hold on. This is,
So I just want to do shout out to General Motors, and I'm saying this from the perspective of driving around LA constantly. The amount of Blazer EVs, Equinox EVs.
Everything's off, by the way,
Okay.
just in case you're wondering.
Blazer, Honda, whatever, the Prologue is the electric one. The Acuras, the Cadillacs, like GM EVs have silently sort of taken over Southern California. Like there's still a lot of Teslas, of course, but like
The thing is,
people
they're
are
like
buying them.
so good. They're not particularly great, but they're very good.
Yeah, they're very, very good. Yeah,
and they're
Escalade IQs. Where's the figure 8?
you just passed it. They're starting to be priced accordingly too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
well-
lease deals are pretty good on them.
Oh, that's the figure 8.
I will just say
Do some
the
what
vehicle
figure
I'm interested in, and only because I'm a consumer car nerd, is the RAV4,
eight? Oh,
because
I'm hearing not good things.
it is quite.
Oh, it's fast.
Where I can't.
You-
This
you-
is not
you
the
were
figure.
To the right. You were to the right.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's like a wasteland of cones out here.
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh, now I kind of see where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Now
Just
we're
aim
with
for
it.
aim for the opposite cone.
The
to
yellow
side.
cone?
There you go. Yeah, you go to that cone.
Okay,
That's
cool.
your gate.
Oh, brakes. Yep.
Quick steering ratio.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, in the wet.
Yeah.
That was ABS. That
Yeah.
was full pedal to the floor.
Hell yeah. Yeah, just nail it. She should slide. There we go. Yeah, buddy.
Nope.
Yeah, buddy.
That's why you're on a proving ground.
Now throttle. We got it.
Nope. Didn't do it.
360s into gravity.
That's how we end the podcast. So,
Yeah, a little wet for that.
That's the way to
I'd like
do it,
to
brother.
thank our guest, Kyle Connor,
Yeah,
for
we gotta
coming
test
on.
the cars. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
This has been an
360.
amazing.
Wow, I haven't looped a car in many years.
It's awesome.
That was cool.
I love that you can do it though. They let you turn everything off.
You saw
Yeah.
it
No,
here.
that's a great point.
Yeah.
All right,
Alrighty.
take us home.
Thanks again to Kyle Connor for coming out, both
Always
to
fun.
help guest judge our SUV of the Year program and also help us kickstart our
New season.
new season rebirth under new management. This has been the inevitable. I don't have my bell, but ding. Thanks, everybody.
Catch you on the next one.
See ya.